Thank you. I'll start the introductions. We have four esteemed panelists today, very power-packed panel, and we want to give maximum time to the panel, so I'm going to start off with the introductions. First of all, we have Shri Harish Jain, Director of Embiotic Laboratories, all the way from Bangalore. He has come here today, and first of all, thank you for coming and sparing your valuable time. He leads a pharmaceutical company focusing on quality and compliance, achieved significant growth for the company and earned accolades such as Bharat Vikas Award and SKOH Achievers Award. He is also president of Federation of Pharmaceutical Entrepreneurs FOPE, which addresses growth and marketing challenges in the Indian pharma industry. Advocates for policy development, promotes industry collaboration and contributed to global competitiveness of the Indian pharma sector. He has been also the past president of Karnataka Drugs and Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Association, KDPMA, July 2021 to 2023. Members, quiet please. We have to give some respect to this session also. We have now Mr. Shri Ramesh Ruganiji, Chairman and MD of Khyati Global Ventures, and he's the Chairman and Executive Director of Khyati Global Ventures now it's limited, and it's one of the founding promoters and cornerstone of the company's board since inception. Currently serving as the Chairperson and Executive Director brings a wealth of experience on the table. He's a seasoned chartered accountant, member of ICA since 1979, and commenced his career in accountancy, including food, FMCG, pharma, biscuits, confectionery, manufacturing, with many decades of experience. A successful entrepreneur's journey he has had, and he is here in presence today. He's currently responsible for overall functioning and vision mission of the company. And very recently, the recent success of his IPO is a testament to his leadership. So one big round of applause for Shri Ramesh ji. He may be the senior most, but probably he's the most, youngest in thoughts also. That he's taken IPO when we are just talking about the rest of the things. So, now moving on to Dr. Ramaswamy Lakshmanan, Chairman of Sotex India Private Limited, which is a subsidiary of Sotex AG Switzerland. With over 45 years of experience in pharma industry, he has held various leadership roles, including GM of Unichem, MD of Stiefel, and Director and CEO of Ambalal Sarabhai Enterprises Limited. He is Secretary of Society for Pharmaceutical Dissolution Science, SPDS, and he's been instrumental in collaborating with regulatory academia and industry to promote research, innovation, and dissolution science. Dissolution science, as you all may know, it's about tablets, oral capsules, and oral suspensions, and even injectables, and many other things, patches and things like that. AAIPS India Ambassador, which is American Association for Indian Pharmaceutical Sciences, and he's set up to promote and uphold this brand and core principles in both in India and globally. He is Creative Legend Awardee by SPDS for outstanding contribution in the pharma industry, and as you know, India is a big hub, so many manufacturers not there anywhere else, and he has played a role there. And he's been leading, obviously, Sotex India, establishing as the pioneer in dissolution automation and physical testing since October 2010. So, one big round of applause for Dr. Lakshman. And last but not the least, we have Shri Ashish Vora, Founder, Chairman, Prime Pharmaceuticals Private Limited, having degree in finance management with over 25 years of experience in industry. A leader recognized for his visionary leadership, founded the business and played pivotal role in growth of the company and ventured into from API to finished dosage. A strategist with focus on customer satisfaction, relationship building, and he has strong partnerships globally for his robust and enduring presence in the market. And he looks at executions with flawless method, and his strategic acumen is something what we'll hear today. So with that, I just invite everyone to be on stage, and please be seated, and then we'll start a few questions and answers. And if we have some more time, maybe we'll take the audience questions also, so maybe you can think about those in your mind. And what you have gone through the all sessions till now, probably they will be the ones who will be able to answer it more specifically. Till that time, you can keep those thoughts on hold. We'll take questions only at the end at the time permits. And then we can shuffle these sequences around. No. So it's the CEO is the roundtable CEO actually. So I'm today the MC right now. So I'm not on the CEO table. Yeah.
I was hoping that he will say it,
So yeah, starting with you, Shri Arishji. I would like to start with you. So my question to you is, how has Embiotic Laboratories leveraged its unique value proposition to differentiate itself in the competitive pharmaceutical exports market?
Good afternoon, everyone. I think before I answer your question, give me a couple of minutes time. Thank you, FPME, for inviting me, and it's your organization doing since I've been here for last couple of hours, and your organization has been doing such a wonderful work. And what has done I was told that this organization is around 5 years old, and what it has done in last 5 years is it has given a face to the merchant exporters. Otherwise, they were all, I think earlier they were all unorganized, and so what it does is when you get organized, then the growth begins. I think congratulate all the members of FPME and specifically all the office bearers. And Sandeep Modi is there. He's a good friend of mine for last 2 decades, and it's because of him I'm all over here today. Now, coming to that question, I remember my journey around more than 3 decades back when I started my Embiotic Laboratories Private Limited. Even then, my motto was always clear: compete in terms of quality rather than price. I think this is what it has been there all along. And what we had done was, we were one of the first companies, like what you can look at when you look at the patients. Now, what can you add value? I think that was extremely important. And looking into that, when you talk about today, it's a very common dosage forms. But I'm looking at 92, 93. We were one of the first company in the India to start dispersible tablets. And that journey of innovation and value addition, even today, it is working well for us. I think this is what, in short, I can tell you is add value, and always, like, you talk on terms of compete in terms of quality. And when the customer approaches you, I think my previous speaker Segalji also talked about, that customer should perceive you as an expert rather than somebody who is selling a commodity. I think this is where the differentiation comes from. And when you say expert, you should always look at, when you say expert, it also gives an impression that you are going to give not only a quality product, but also a quality service. I think this is what is extremely important.
Thank you so much. I think that's really, giving hope for us people, because we are also focused on quality, and you re-establish that fact. The question for Shri Ramesh ji, when did you decide to go for initial public offering? Was it through, what was that process, and what were the actions? Now that it's listed company, what are your thoughts? And will you recommend other merchant exporters to go for IPO, and how they can go about it?
Good afternoon, sir. We have decided to go for public since last 5 years, but it's a long journey to come out with the public issue, because there are a lot of legal formalities and everything. So in 2024, this year only, we have come out with the public issue on 11th October. Our public issue was oversubscribed by 15 times. We are merchant exporters. At the moment, we are exporting Indian foodstuff to Indian markets in foreign countries. We are at the moment exporting to more than 45 countries our Asian food. Our intention was to come out with the public issue because it gets the valuation. I've got 2 daughters, so we'll get the valuation, number 1. Number 2, we are exporting to all Asians who are Indian over there in foreign countries. They are also interested to participate in India. So once we get the valuation, it will be very easy entry for them to join our company. Further, we are also expanding, we are diversifying our manufacturing activities also. At the moment, we are only packaging and exporting FMCG and other items. Now our plan is to come out with a spices and namkeen factory at the moment. Then we have got another 3 companies which are into FMCG and FMCG, which we are going to merge. So we have got a 5 years plan for this our public issue.
Thank you so much. I think he's gone about systematically. Many of us have built businesses, but we want that next level to go. And I think if he has done IPO, I think we can take some insights and inspiration to go further on that path as well. Now, next question is for Dr. Ramaswamy. You have taken new initiative of bringing all pharma associations, we just discussed some in one roof, named AIPSC. What are the objectives you have kept for AIPSC and how do you plan to fulfill the same?
Thank you, Dharmesh. At the outset, let me again formally thank both Mr. Modi as well as Dharmesh for inviting me for this forum, and also in the absence, Mr. Chuppa Sir Vaidya, who is 84 years, pharma veteran, he could not reach here. It is through him I got introduced to this unique organization whom you call FPME. I am very happy that you have taken the, not only pharmaceutical, you have taken the associated, allied industries, which is very, very important. So it's really a pleasure today to answer your question. This is a very new initiative. I will give you 1 minute the genesis of IPAC. It's called All India Pharmaceutical Association Consortium, because I realized over my last 47 years of career, possibly I'm the only one in the pharma industry in India or maybe outside also, that who have the 7 years, 3,000 days of real selling experience from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, carrying the bag and selling medicines to the doctors from big companies, multinational and national companies. Then came to Bombay, worked with Unichem, earlier started with East India Pharmaceuticals. I don't know any of you promote, but Unichem, yes, some of you may be exporting the drugs. There I worked 15 years as the district manager, regional manager, sales manager, all happened in 7 years. I was the head of Unichem marketing and also training, product management, market research, all logistic, all functions. So having worked 30 years in that side, so I wanted to see the other part of the coin, like QA, QC, R&D, regulatory manufacturing. So I moved by design, not by design or fault, I don't know, that was one of the best move, switched over to a company, which is the #1 company in the world, which is in dissolution science. Except spelling, I was not aware of anything when I joined that company. It's my daughter who got this job when I was the head of Sarabhai Chemicals as the director and CEO. He met one Asia Pacific head in one of the conferences she met, and she asked why this instrument is not there in India. So he told my daughter, who was in the final year of B.Pharm that time in 2008, I have my father, he asked, we don't have anyone, proper distributor, can you recommend some person who can help us? So she said, my father is there in pharma, you can contact. So the next day, I got the message from him, your daughter gave me this, will you be interested to help? So I thought like collaboration, joint venture, distribution, something like that. So when they say, I was the director and CEO of Sarabhai, this is a small company, owner-driven company in Switzerland. And I just said, I can help you, I can join with you, provided if you are able to foot my bill. So, yeah, it was an expensive job for them. Giving 5 million in those 2010 is not a small money. Suddenly, the owner called him. Within 15 days, they called me to Switzerland. And they asked me to do a business planning. I give 3 years business planning in 6 hours. They went through that. And they say, you're appointed. I said, I don't know anything about dissolution. Don't worry, we all here, we all experts in dissolution. We want someone to run the company. So it so happened that I am not an expert technical, but today I manage not only in India, including the whole globe, technical committee I head. So one of the committee, this IPAC, one organization is SPDS, which he will ask. So I combine that also here, called Society for Pharmaceutical Dissolution Science. Because when I entered, I found nobody speaking science. here, then how the quality will come? 40 to 50% of the samples which drug controllers are taking is failed in dissolution science. And I did a market research. Naturally, from that background, I went to the best of the best teachers in the college and industry people across, and also up to Dr. B. Suresh, I reached. Everyone said, what is there in dissolution to discuss? You know, it is 6 jars and water, and you put the tablet and take the reading. So this is what the thinking in 2008. Now I felt so bad. And no conference is speaking about it, whether IPA or AAPS, no one. Then I decided I will form the society exclusively for this science. And it started with great difficulty. Fortunately, I had the blessings, and God gave one person called Dr. Vinod P. Shah, who is considered as Amitabh Bachchan in film world. Vinod Shah in US is the person in dissolution science. And he joined and he supported fully Ramaswamy. Till today, all the conferences he has attended in India. And he helped us to create a chapter in US. Today, this is the only society in India registered from India and gone have a chapter in US. And I am doing a chapter next year in Europe. Now people are coming forward. So it's a pride for the country that on science, we all say Western, from India now we are going to export. So this gives me a good feeling. So Rajiv Raghuvanshi, 2 years back in his address, he said, Ramaswamy, you are charging 20,000 rupees. People have to come for your conferences, airfare. How SME can afford? So it struck me a lot. It's a valid point 2 years back. Then I thought one association cannot do. Let me combine all the association together, collaboration, take it from me. That was my dream. And last 1.5 years, calling each president, secretary of all association, explaining them. Even now, 90% don't know what is IPAC. Okay, it will take, when I do 5 programs, I think people like our Pharma Base, Pharma Click, they are all there to promote, and they support very well. Shardul support all our programs so well. Just send it, next day it will come into the newspaper, it will go all over the world. So, thank you, Shardul. I only called him, he said, you don't know that you are already invited, he's associated with you for the last 5 years, he was telling. 2 years, very good, and a very senior reporter in the pharma media. So this IPAC is today 15 organization, IDMA, IPA, another IPA, FOPA, all are together. And it took me 1.5 years to plan, strategize, how to enter, because everything is another dissolution for me. I don't know about it, but sitting and thinking and dreaming how to do it. But now I have got a clarity after doing one program day before yesterday. One guarantee I said to Rajiv, I will do it, but you should come and inaugurate. And he followed that. He personally came and he flagged off the program day before yesterday, which has come in the press. So this will continue for now. Today while traveling and yesterday night, we can support very well your forum of merchant exporters. Excellent. How I am going to do, I will tell you, I will disclose. As I fully agree with you, Saraswati, we cannot, sell or even buy with money. Okay. So I am basically from South. And we do only Saraswati Puja every year, no Lakshmi Puja in our house.
Your name has it.
Okay. In South, if you go, you don't see Lakshmi Puja. From here onwards, North, only Lakshmi Puja. Correct. So I don't want to change that. So I believe that we will give program. We gave one program free of cost. It was but sponsors are coming. We don't want all speakers are class apart. Global speakers are in our panel. 4 years back, have made FPQL anticipating this Forum of Pharma Quality Leaders. 225 leaders are there in the group where we discuss only on quality. No other good morning, good night or happy birthday, no. So it's so strict and it's all from all big and small companies, QA, QC, R&D, regulatory, head of the department. If you are that, you are welcome by nomination. And that's going to be registered as a charitable society because we want to give back to 8,000 SME companies in the next 5 years plan we have made. So coming back to this IPAC, I want all your supporters and all your purchase, because you are not manufacturing, no? None of you are, some of you have elevated from wholesalers to manufacturers. Each one of you, for me in pharma, there is only one dream person. Correct? I always tell, people said in India, Dhirubhai Ambani, correct, took 10 years to 100 crores, whereas Bombay dyeing took 100 years to 100 crores. Similarly, in pharma, we have one person who was trading in 80s. When I entered in 78, who was a trader. Today, he is the number one in the world. Who is that? Dilip Bhai. So, why don't you, all of you can emulate Dilip Bhai in you? What prevents you? Dilip Bhai didn't have a big gold mine to spend money. He used a technique. No, I used to teach in the Management Institute, you should be capable enough to use a net to catch elephant, not mosquitoes. He did that, ran backseat, bigger than his company he purchased. How? So please learn from this, and all of you. Otherwise, we will not achieve 450 billion. At least I will see some of you in the next 25 years like that. If it is not happening, India will not do 450 billion. So 130 billion is going to happen through all of you. But to support you, what we are going to do, let me announce that using this IPAC, we will take from your office bearers all the list of SME manufacturers. They are very much afraid of coming to training program. Let me tell you, because when Rajiv Raghuvanshi is coming, 20 people cancelled, owners, thinking that they will close the company. They are not there to close the company. Okay? We are so open, and Rajiv is not in that, Dr. Rajiv is not in that frame of mind. He wanted to support, he wanted to help all small companies to come to do well. So we want to go and give, I told Dr. Rajiv, you don't come. We will, now 25th program you come. For the next 25th program, we don't want your presence. So the point is that we have to call them, give confidence, and give all consultancy throughout free of cost. I am telling you, we will not take money from any small company which has got less than 100 crore turnover. Not a single paisa. We can, you tell us what you want. We will have a 30 to 40 people team of experts who are experts in every domain, QA, QC, R&D, regulatory, manufacturing, sales, marketing. You tell me from this end to that end, we have people who will come and help. You don't pay any professional fee to them. Only if they are to travel, take care of their travel and stay. That's all. So let us try for 5 years this and try to increase the quality of the product produced from India. That will help us to do 130 billion for us.
Excellent. I think this is really good. And I know because Schedule M and other challenges are there, but if there is an organization who can give right from design blueprint to infrastructure upgrade and also QC lab and QA system setup, I think this is going to be a great, what we can so real Lakshmi which is coming in knowledge form, which is Saraswati. So next question for Shri Ashish Vora. My question to you is that how was your transformation from API distribution as a company started and then it went to opportunistic trader to strategic visionary entrepreneur, including manufacturing investment? What innovative strategies has Prime Pharma employed to stay ahead in this rapidly changing pharmaceutical export market so far?
So that's a lot of questions. So first of all, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Ashish Vora. I'm really honored to be on this panel because as I can see on the left of me are all people with very serious, achievements, a lot of, so, and I really feel empowered to be here. First of all, Sandeep Bhai, Dharmesh Bhai, whole FPME, thank you so much for having me here. For me, this merchant exporter word has always been a bane because wherever you go and, people straight away ask you, are you a manufacturer or exporter? Without really getting into the quality, what Mr. Saigal said about the Japanese theory and how all the Mitsubishis and Mitsuis came in. So I belong to a traditional Gujarati family, second generation. Father started API, he had nothing, he roughed it out. I did my post-graduation. Sir, I miss Jamnalal Bajaj by 1 mark in the MMS program, I'll tell you that. So, but whatever, life had, my destiny was there and everything was planned. So I joined, and I had, luckily, whichever college I was in, I had got a job in a multinational company called Hext, Uh, but being the Gujarati in me, I said, what should I do? So I chose to join my father, thinking that, okay, I'm a second generation, I've done my MBA, so-called MBA in those days. Soon enough to realize that, your father is the toughest boss in the world. And secondly, I was not adept at the API trading, API reselling, because he would, after 2-3 years, 2-3 years, he called me, made me sit down that I'm going to have a hard talk with you today. I said, that's the third of the day, So he said, I don't think you'll be able to do this business. I said, why? Because he said that, that time, okay, one side note, one of our biggest customers was Sarabhai. So I had met, everybody in Sarabhai. But, so the skill set required was to basically finance, to get your monies on time, which I never had. So I took the hard route. I told my father that I'm going to go on my own. I started a formulations business, very small, very high learning curve, did all the wrong things, met all the wrong people. Because, initially, you don't know the domain. All variables are unknown. The product, the customer, and even the sourcing, and the product knowledge. So I had what is called, on-the-job self-training, where I would go to a factory with a piece of paper, what will be the foil size, what are the things like that. Started like that, was very arduous, very hard, took a really long time, but mine was a very textbook, old-fashioned way. I said that whoever works with us, our stakeholders, I'm going to be honest to them. Was it wise? In the short term, it was a disaster. Long term, it has stood me in very good stead. Because I have created the entire business like that. Today, we are in 55 countries, 7 global offices. We have 5 manufacturing facilities. So I am the merchant exporter. In my heart, I'm still the man with the bag. I can go anywhere, go to a foreign land where you can't speak the language. How do you, so that was my skill set. And from there, obviously, we became very structured. Over the last 3 years, we have a whole panel of people, a good business development team. But this is what I've learned is, first of all, to keep quality in mind, which Dr. Ramaswamy said, Mr. Saigal said, that when we are going outside, we go as Indian, but we don't go on zero, we go as minus. Because everybody perceives Indians and Chinese in a certain way, good or bad. Maybe it's the multinational marketing or the way they have done things, right? So we start from less than zero. And when we go there, we have to take a harder effort, especially if you're a merchant exporter, because first question they'll ask you, do you have a factory or no? And that's the only value addition they think that we can really bring in. That's been the entire journey, slowly and steadily. Innovative strategies, not really very old textbook, compliance, to the extent of being called, there's a thin line between genius and insanity. So I think it's always insane, more insane than less genius. But that has really helped us. We have been now the first choice for our customers in whichever markets we are. They want a product from a multinational in India. They still come to us and say that, Ashish, please bring it for me. Great. So this is my...
Excellent. I think what they said is, dar ke aage jeet hai. This is like, passion ke aage jeet hai. So this is what Ashish Bhai signifies here.
But one question to Ashish. When people ask, which they all must be getting, do you have a factory or no? What is the general answer you give to your...
So sir, see, I'll tell you. Initially, I was in that whole stream where I did not know what was the right answer. When I said the learning curve was there, right? But beyond, and initially we started with all the loan licenses. So you're trying to camouflage, you're trying to say you're manufactured by Prime. And sir will know because he must be dealing with a lot of exporters. But very soon or within 3 or 4 years, we went to people, we said, we are not manufacturers, but we are here. Like our biggest market right now is Latin America. We said, we are here. I have taken a 45-hour flight and I've reached here. So I'm here because I'm serious. I'm not that Indian company which says yes before you finish your sentence. If I don't have the product or if I don't have the documentation, I'll say no. And I will, there has been instances, how we upgraded, sir, is that we also started filtering our vendors, as you were saying. Because we would get, in the initial years, big debit notes which everybody must be getting on some quality aspect or other. and you are not dealing with the right kind of manufacturers, and that debit note has to be subsumed by you. Because the manufacturer will say, okay, I'm fine, let go of the business, I'm not going to deal with you again. So we have gone, and I have trained, today we have nearly 18 or 20 people on the BD. We tell them, do not say that you manufacture this if we don't. You say we manufacture A, B and C, but from D to Z we don't manufacture. If you want to work with us, this is what we provide in terms of all the support, in terms of earnestness, and in terms of being there. And being the bridge of getting the right documentation. We have a good regulatory team and everything. So it has been that entire journey, sir. That's what it is.
I think very important question.
And myself, I started telling that yes, we don't have manufacturing.
Exactly.
But we are merchant exporters, and we proudly say that.
And why should we not be proud about that fact? Like he said,
Earlier, same thing which you happen, we used to have camouflage and everything. We have to say we have been partnered with manufacturer. Now we bluntly say we don't manufacture. We are now merchant exporters. This is the change, I think, the same line.
Yeah, like for example.
Our services are there, which you can try and see.
He said
how
yes,
you are
exactly,
doing.
sir.
See, none of these Amazon.
Everything, whatever you want.
Because all merchant exporters will get the same question.
Yeah.
You can definitely.
Can I help them answer
Yeah,
that?
please.
Yes,
Some
sir.
better answer.
Sure, sir.
Mike, please.
Yes.
See, before you make the sale, you need the credibility, right? So one of the reasons I got into Japan early, very early in my career, was to get the referenceability. And the moment I got success in Japan, I proudly went and said that, look, I am sourcing for Japanese. They are my partners. And my Japanese partners trust me. You can trust me too, if you want. So you see, somewhere you have to build that credibility first. And then be proud about what you're doing. And I think, I won't say 10 out of 10 times it works. Then you choose your customers, right? The big ones will want you if there is a technology component. We work with big ones also today, but we have given them success on some of the technological developments, etc. So they trust us. Once you have this referenceability, and an example that where you have this account with you, and you have the freedom to talk about that account, and I do tell people, can I refer your name if you're successful? I've taken even written letters from them, So you can use that to build credibility and then be proud of the fact that we are merchant exporters. If you want to use our services, you're welcome, right? It works. Most of the time it works.
Very valid, but testimonials always work. So you can, all of you can collect testimonials and make them bind a nice book, golden book. Just when they ask that answer, tell him this is what we are doing.
I think what, to continue what he said further was, a merchant exporter is one that he can add value both to his customer as well as to his vendors. I think this is what a kind of when you say a kind of a middleman, it's not exactly a middleman, but then you can add value to both the sides, so that there is a credibility, as you rightly said, on both the sides again.
I think fantastically put. I take a couple of keywords away. One is, we are actually in a service industry, and that is growing very fast compared to manufacturing. That is number one. And being there all the time for your customer and for your supplier both is really key. Today, the largest companies with the highest valuations are like Amazon, Zomato, Zepto, all these people. And they don't have any much infrastructure, maybe some dark store here and there. But you see, if you all, and we as a merchant export, develop systems and processes to be there, like what he said, and to give good quality things, then we can actually be there for this. So I don't want to take these moments more, but I'll go to the next question. Coming to FOPE, Federation of Pharma Entrepreneurs, can you share something that the genesis of it, the challenges that MSME face, and what FOPE is doing about them?
Okay, now just going back briefly into the genesis of FOPE. Now, Federation of Pharma Entrepreneurs basically started, it's a very kind of, still compared to the other larger national associations, we are still an infant. And it started somewhere around 2010. And this was basically to look after the issues of excise-free zone manufacturers. So still today we have most of the manufacturers who are members who are from the area of Uttarakhand, Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, and all these kind of people. And this how they started. And then later on in 2013, the issue of fixed dose combination ban came into picture. So we played a big role in terms of mitigating all the issues associated with that ban. Now, over a period of time, it has we have matured enough. Now, as of now, we are basically working on 4 critical areas. Obviously, as any association, we work on policy advocacy, and this has been our forte. We have some of the big names in the industry who are our members. Whether you take the largest company in India, we are looking at Sun Pharmaceuticals is our members. Although we say ki MSME, we represent MSME, but then if you look at, I can give you the numbers. There's some of the largest contract manufacturer in this country, Akums is our founder member. And if you're looking at the largest manufacturer in terms of, largest company in terms of volume, Mankind Pharma is our been founder, patron, chairman, I don't know what to say. His contribution has been immense. The largest nutraceutical manufacturer in this country are our members. So apart from that, but basically it's not from MSME. Now, having started from those excise-free zone, now today we have chapters in Madhya Pradesh, Andhra, Telangana, Karnataka, of course, and then we are also getting into Punjab, and maybe next year, 2025, we have plans ki maybe Gujarat and a couple of more states we are planning. So basically, we work not only on policy advocacies. One of our major achievement have been training programs. As last year, when the Schedule M was notified, we see this opportunity because if you look at most of our manufacturers are MSME, and the gap what we see was the quality. And when I took over as a president around 1.5 years back, I told very clearly the biggest elephant in this room when we had a AGM, the biggest elephant in this room, elephant in this room is quality. So unless we progress on the quality, we will not survive. And this has been, and when the Schedule M came into picture, we found that out of 10,000, around 8,000 MSMEs, I'm sure out of 8,000, 95% at that time were not ready to follow this new Schedule M. So we saw an opportunity at a gap where FOP can contribute, and today we run the largest Schedule M online training program which happens every alternate week on a national platform webinar, and where we have subject matter experts, question and answer sessions. And out of 10 sessions what we have held, more than 10,000 people have already got associated with it. This has been a kind of a, achievement. Apart from that, we keep on doing other programs, like we did program on human error reduction. It's one of our kind of, I would say, a flagship program. I think this is where we got a lot of things. Then apart from that, we also work on trade facilitation. I think this has been again our success story for last couple of years. Not only within among us our members, but then working with lot of foreign missions. So this has been, we have been working. So as a FOP, we see a great opportunity for MSMEs, and you can, in FOP we are very clear what are the kind of membership what we want to have. So this has been like, again I said, I always believe in whatever you do, what kind of value you can add to your members. And as I would say, listening to Ramaswamy ji has been quite an eye-opener. And what he basically does is a kind of a magical marketing, where people get attracted to you rather than you reaching out to them.
Very nice. Very well put. Very well put. I think.
Basic life is like that. You be a flower with nectar always.
Yes.
These are always.
So probably, I think FOP, what we have seen is last few years, there's been a huge increasing the membership. I think we have reached from 300 for last couple of years to 450 plus members. And this has been like, unless you add some value, or the people should understand what we are providing. Everybody does policy advocacy, but then in terms of whether it's a neutral, I think one of the biggest issue what the pharma industry today, the crisis what we face is the nutraceutical issue, manufacture of nutraceutical in a pharma factory. I think this is where we have worked extensively, and you must have seen that a couple of committees were formed recently. These were all because of the effort of the FOP. And Yeah, hopefully all will get resolved very soon and for the better for the industry as well as for the country.
Hope is hope.
Hope is
This
hope
is what
and,
is exactly you put it. This is our tagline.
Exactly. Oh, I didn't know that.
one information to add for your all information. Her daughter is a great scientist in US, and she was our speaker of SPDS, because SPDS has got a very high way of selecting the speakers for our program, because we select globally the speaker topic and the best subject experts from the globe. And her daughter qualified for that, and she spoke so well, and the feedback was 96% rated her talk to outstanding speaker. So I am looking for her to come to India to speak in India also.
I think there's a small story behind it. I don't know whether you remember or not. I met him first in our Dilip Suranaji's daughter's marriage, and then I happened to talk to him about my daughter. And he said, okay, your daughter is in US. If she wants to attend our program in Rutgers University, I can give her a pass and she can attend. Then I said, okay. I also didn't knew what had happened. And then after a couple of days, he sends me a message. Hey, I'm shocked to okay, your daughter is already a speaker.
Okay. Wonderful. I think nice, sweet stories. Now, I will ask Shri Ramesh ji one small question, because all of our members are here, that for the next 5 years, what is your advice in terms of agility and flexibility in contents of current trends which are going on? Because there are a lot of changes which are happening, but with your experience and your expertise, what would you advise in the next 5 years we do?
If you got the growth plan and our company is performing well, then definitely we should go for public issue. Because to go to public issue, it will take a lot of times, because there are a lot of compliances we have to fill with SEBI and stock exchanges. Once you go for public issue, then there is a lot of roadmap for expansion, diversification, everything.
Thank you so much. So I think in order to get to IPO, we heard in the first session today that you have to implement a lot of other basic big specs and put in that brick and mortar together and then reach that IPO. And we require strategic planning, etc., which we'll get and we'll give to all our members. And we build them up. So I think we should have a target in FPME that by end of the 5 years, how many IPOs the FPME will float and the total valuation of IPO.
Yes, one of the
that is the oath we can take together. FPME members, yes. And then I'll ask Dr. Ramaswamy that for Sotax India, coming to the company that you worked quite often and recent, which is a subsidiary of a foreign MNC, in India, which is a very different market, and that's a European company, for an equipment and a product list that is quite different from pharmaceuticals which are consumed or prescribed by doctor. What is the insight that you can share for our allied members who are not pure pharmaceuticals, but they are into allied, they are providing services, they are providing various other products and things like that?
See, as you rightly said, that I came from a different background to a technical organization to head. It was a great experience. I was very clear what I wanted to do. I am not a technical person, but all my people are technical. So to handle them, because I always said that in Piramal, when R&D center was inaugurated, by Swati Piramal, every scientist was so happy to deal with her. She herself was a scientist. Nevertheless, the way she handled these intellectuals to handle, it's different from our routine line management of sales, marketing, Absolutely. So it was a new experience, and the product concepts are also totally different. Because I have something called USP 4. Do you know USP 1, 2, 3 to 7 for dissolution? Okay, dissolution is in one line if you want to decide. It's a rate of release of the drug, whether tablets, capsules, or some injectables, nano preparations. And that determine the final quality of your product. So if dissolution test 3 months, 6 months after the product also, if it is not giving the assay, they have to withdraw from the market. So it's a very important release testing for pharmaceutical quality. So since then, this quality was in my mind. That's the reason every initiative of mine in the last 15 years is focusing only one word, is quality in drug manufactured. So coming back to this USP4, it's a costliest apparatus. Those days 70, 80 lakhs, today it is 1.4 crores. And this is purchased by Indian companies, 2, 3 big companies, I don't want to name, and they packed and kept it nicely in their lab. One of the reasons is those people who are trained have left that company, and distributors who are handling, they are not interested in their training because 30% commission has come to them. Then they say, sir, we don't have any technical staff. Now Sotax is not doing this. I faced a lot of trouble. And second is dissolution, this equipment, owners, big owners, I'm talking, today they are all 10,000, 15,000 crore company. They know dissolution means 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs. But suddenly 70 lakhs, when a QC head or R&D head going, sir, this dissolution instrument is 70 lakhs. They keep it in the table. So how would I sell? So then, fortunately, I was OPPA and IDMA and all members, so I met these owners. So I told them, I will meet your owner. So I went to the office and explained. He said, he's asking, Ramaswamy, why 12 lakhs rupees, why you are charging 65 lakhs for this USP4? So that's USP4, and secondly, manufactured in Switzerland. You are wearing Swiss watch, So can you compare the cost of Swiss watch versus Titan? Today both are same, I said. The point is that to make them understand to buy the instrument, I said, you are the first person to buy. I know for what project they are buying. And in one project, if you complete and make an ANDA filing, you will make millions. And that company today have got 6 instruments of the same, because they made the first filing. If they would not have purchased that instrument, they would not have done the filing. So they filed, they made the NDA within the 6 months, and they made good money with that. So sometimes you have to take risk. I always say, because I was addressing the family management course in Nirma student. There were 60 students. All their father and grandfather were business people. 70% of those people don't want to continue with their father's business. I said, why? You don't want to do? No, difficult to convince my father. I said, they have their own. And my point is, I listened last month, Gatafose. You have heard about Gatafose? 5th generation owners are running the business. That lady came here and said, proudly say, I am the 5th generation owner. So that means they have kept that system. Similarly, why not in India, all their entrepreneurs? Today, half of the Indian companies are selling. Why? There is no successor. Because the father did not develop the successor. If you don't have successor, employ professional. Correct? So all multinational except one company, MSD, all are run by professionals as CEOs. The board decides. Cipla tried to an extent, but still not that great success. So coming back to Sotax, we established concept, and of course, I established the Society for Dissolution Science. So I didn't sell product. I educated all QA, QC, R&D, leaders through science. So I don't go. Yes, people call, Ramaswamy, we want this system. Please send. We don't negotiate, no pricing. If you add value, someone was rightly selling, add value, you will get value. You need not go for it. So then we started Make in India program. So we have 2 machines which were selling for 30 lakhs and 14 lakhs is available for 10 and 12 lakhs now in India. Swiss product, manufactured in Bombay, and we are exporting. There is one machine in the last 4 years we developed with Swiss technology. Only manufacturing in the world is India. And we are going to export all over the world. That we already started that. So these are all some of the things.
Swiss have not allowed watches to be manufactured, if I'm not wrong, but they have allowed this health instrument to be manufactured. So really, hearty congratulations.
I have convinced that we will have very huge plan. Over a period of time, Switzerland manufacturing will get stopped, US manufacturing will get stopped. All will be Make in India.
Very good.
Because
Excellent.
let them do R&D because the owner is from Swiss. So they are very, finicky people.
So I think these are the stories that inspire us, and whatever you are doing, maybe if you feel very passionate about one particular product, you can, actually manufacture also. And coming to the point of doing both, you are doing merchant as well as manufacturing. One question which we are not covering, probably it's another, baby elephant in the room or maybe bigger, is how do you get the right people and manage the attrition and make them the successful cause and the reason for this organization. Because all said and done, we are not in an automobile where robotics will run our company. It will not. We'll still have a lot of manual processes which we have to do in pharmaceutical business. But I would like your views on how to manage these people part.
So Dharmesh bhai, again, starting from one person company and then, building it up. So what we started doing is, as you said, that, as merchant exporters till a certain size, even a lot of professionals don't want to join you because they are looking at the stability of the organization. They feel that merchant exporter organizations are sometimes unstable. They don't have a predictable future. There is no clear path, of what they're going to be doing. So we had an approach which has helped us on the business development side. We have a lot of homegrown people who and they're not they're not a part of my family, to make it very clear. So they were people who I met in the course of time, professionally or personally, where I thought that they had the they had the same wavelength to do things. So they have been homegrown. Like right now, the Southeast Asia and Middle East director is somebody who had studied arts in the US and came back from a fairly wealthy family, disillusioned into the family business. And somehow I got in touch with them, and we started working on one market. And over a period of time, he has become an integral part of the organization. Obviously, as we grew, then we decided to systematically employ people, get through agencies, through otherwise, because we have to work harder. So it's not, if a big company puts it up on LinkedIn, they will get 50 resumes. We will not get 5, So you have to work a little harder. But then, once people understand that what kind of environment of work it is, like our office, we have a diversity, and it was not planned like that, of 70% women. So, so there has been regulatory pharmacists who worked with us when they were not married, then they got married, took a hiatus. Then again they came back, again took a hiatus when they had children. So this is what we have tried to do, is create an environment which is very, very positive, very safe. And at the same time, we have now started having clear job descriptions, because this is what we miss, that this is what is expected out of you. And at the same time, this is what you can expect, from the organization. So this is what we do.
Excellent. I think this will help, people who are planning to expand, grow, or facing challenges in this area to have a structured plan. And I'm sure Ashish Bhai is there to always, is a part of a member as well.
I think give me a minute. I can add what he is saying is, when an employee joins any of your organization, and it is common for everyone, irrespective of the businesses or respective, 3 things he expects, and we as an entrepreneur sometimes fail to recognize that these 3 things. Obviously, you require a salary when somebody joins your thing, but then this is what I call it as an Infosys model. This is what I learned from Infosys, is you definitely require, and Infosys, let me tell you, in terms of IT companies, they pay the least. You must be shocked. So one is salary definitely required. 2 more things you require. One is, this company, what is the kind of knowledge they can provide me? In addition to, when I'm working with that company, what is the kind of my knowledge area it's going to grow up? So that is where my character and my thinking process develops. Third thing, extremely important, what is the career growth opportunity in this company? I think these 3 things, if you can take care of it, these people who have joined you probably at the very low level can make you Sun Pharmaceutical of tomorrow.
Very well said. I think that's what we all want to achieve. And I just want to throw open 1 or 2 questions, not more. Otherwise, after the felicitation, you can meet up after the award ceremony. So, any questions from the audience?
Either they are all very clear, very confused.
No, I think.
Or we have bored them enough. We are not clear. No, we have bored them enough.
No. I think it's very inspirational right now. Their minds are bubbling with real action.
If there is no question, I have one point to add
Okay,
for your organization. See, for 5 years organization, definitely it's a very great achievement. Whoever has founded this, whoever has done, hats off to all of you. Correct? Because when we came in the morning, there was no chairs. even to sit here, all were standing, some were standing out. It's very good and it's growing well. One secret, which possibly you may be aware, that in this growth of 130 billion, which is only 6 years, means 2000 days. So every day it goes down, no count. In the 2000 days, the percentage of your business, whichever form you are doing, has to be minimum to that proportion. Remember, not maximum. Minimum to that proportion means doubling. So you will do minimum in the next 5 to 6 years, double. Some of you can do much more because your volume may be small, correct? For 100 crores to 200 crores is difficult, but 30 crores to 60 crores is very easy. The second thing is, the next 3 years, the focus of the government is more on medical devices. So I really don't know how many of you are here or doing export of medical devices. No one?
No, there are few.
Only 1, 2. Okay. Please catch hold of the opportunity in medical devices, not doubling 10 times in the next 6 years. Because today, if I say some company's name who are developed medical devices and ready to export, but they don't know how to do it. They're all students, entrepreneurs. I give you one product name called Mobi Lab. Have you heard about it? Anyone? None of you have heard about it. So this is where possibly in future, all digital health conferences, AI and ML, all of you should attend. Yesterday I was in a conference of Tata Social Science, morning to evening, where AI, ML, so many else were presented by doctors and other young people. 70% of the participants were ladies. Today I'm surprised only 2 are here, or 3, 4. But I wanted here, possibly in the next 3 years, to give at least 50-50. Lady entrepreneurs should come and join this group, which will happen. Because I went to last month to Indonesia, 80% of the company employees in a #1 pharmaceutical company I visited, all are ladies. Okay, I don't want to get into why it's like that. The second thing is this, like this, I have seen in the last 2 years, 1 year I can say, I am more into this digital health and AI, and I am a student of taking a degree in digital health. I've just registered in one university. Okay, it's important. If you don't know digital health or AI in the next 3 years, what is happening, you will be out of this market. So don't think it's only pharma formulation, export. It can be part. But this, India is going to be the #1 country in the world in the next 10 years exporting digital health. #1 country in the world in the next 10 years. This is not my statement, Dr. Rajiv Raghuvanshi's statement in the regulatory forum, which has happened in Delhi last month, where our DGG was selling. So please change your mindset, correct? And I am the advisor in some digital companies. I'm getting into it. I met Indonesian drug controller last month. 1 hour meeting I had with him. He wanted to do dissolution conference in Jakarta, which we are doing in July end. So all are ready to accept quality. When I am saying that digital health, they are looking for from India for counterfeiting, for digital health. They are looking, because imagine those countries, as today somebody said, they don't have doctors. They have only 2,000 doctors for 29 crore patients for treating this radiology. To read a report, you will be amazed that in one MRI, if you want to take, you have to wait for 1 week. 3 days appointment, 3 days for report. Imagine if one center in India says, I have to wait for 6 days for that. Anyone will go? Here we go, within 1 hour we need a report. So this is what digital health will bring for Indonesia, correct? So we are looking at Indonesia, Malaysia, through various forums, because I made a society for, global society for digital health and wellness. So there the members are only those who are connected with that. Sorry, some of us may not be there in that, that doesn't matter. This is going to grow. It's going to grow very well. So please start learning. And you all already expert, because your strength is your connections. What is the most important in business is networking and connections. If you have customers, all those customers will ask these products. And this small box, Mobi Lab, please, go and Google it. A small box, you come. I take you 4 ml blood, put it there, 24 tests, which we are spending 4,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees, in 600 rupees, I will get printout in 20 minutes. I don't require lab. This is digital health.
So I think
mobile
this is very innovative ideas, diversification ideas. I think members should adopt this.
And I can help you, honestly. And I will not give you any bill for you. Don't worry about it.
Thank you so
No?
much.
So, like this, there are many instruments. I talked to one MD, they make a presentation, took 2 fingers on thermal this. One can tell when the diabetes is going to come, when hypertension is going to come for that person, what cancer the patient is having. Bangalore company. So, pardon? I don't know which company, I forgot the company, and she's the owner, she's an entrepreneur last 5 years, and she's exporting that this instrument, very small instrument, like someone in Bombay like that. So these type of changes, tomorrow you will not go to doctor. Take it from me. Your children will not go to doctor. Good health will come to your home. You will not trust me today because earlier you are going for a taxi, no, to a taxi stand. Today are you going? For auto, you are going to auto stand, no? So auto is coming to your home. Medicine you have to go buy and from shop. Today it's coming to your home. Vegetables is coming. Similarly, good health also will come to your home. I don't want to take time. Maybe in another occasion I will explain how it will come. Thank you.
Definitely, I think this is great.
Since medical device is a $11 billion industry, so it's going to, we have a lot of potential in terms of market and all. But what about the regulation, the regulatory part? Because the medical device rules have been clubbed under Drugs Act. So that is something which is worth talking about, because then the quality assurance part is also getting impacted. The quality assurance is
But
also
this
questioned.
product that I am talking is CDSO has passed, no?
No, sir, that's okay. But there is the market is unregulated because it's under the Drugs Act.
They are changing the revision. Day before yesterday, Dr. Rajiv Raghuvanshi announced in public, the next 3 years the focus is medical device. So we will bring the regulation which will help to export the medical devices from India. It will happen. So it is there. See, the point is, all white are not milk. There is a tremendous pressure. I don't want to state the country or this, that India should not progress. It's quite natural. It's quite natural. Why? We have 700 FDA approved plant here. And I'm sure in the next 3 years it will cross 1,000 or even before that.
And 2,000 WHO GMP.
Yeah. So there is a tremendous pressure India not to progress in this line. Okay. So still we are flowing, we are sailing against the flow. And we are capable of doing that. We have learned the tricks of that trade. Yes, I think.
Yeah, I have a question on the soft, the soft skill or the soft part of it, right? I'm from Bangalore, and my father, like Harishji will know Magubai, my farm. Harishji knows my dad. My dad knows Harishji's dad. So my dad was into generics. So why I'm pointing out something that Ashish said, right? When I started exports, right, I'd come back from the US, I'd worked in Europe, I just came back, I started. I still remember there was an event which I think Harishji only, they do it in Capital, right? Where there was a company, a person from KPL, and I said, I just want to start exports because I don't understand this generics. I cannot, with all due respect, I could not bring myself to do that. And here's what he said. He said that, it's going to take you 2 years or 3 years before you do decently well. And Ashish, you will agree that, he
Mine
misquoted,
was a longer
right?
journey.
Yeah, mine too, right? So I'm just saying, we had a lot of technical discussions. We had a lot of things. I know a lot of manufacturers up north or south. In my opinion, if there are 100 people who are trying to start exports, especially in the registered one, Ashish will agree at least 80% of them drop out in the first 2-3 years because they don't see results. 80% drop out. It's good for us who stay back. But I'm just saying, if people had a forum where they could understand कि ये शायद कोई 2 साल में कर ले, कोई 3 साल में कर ले, कोई 4 साल में कर ले. It really depends on the markets. I can echo with Ashish because I did everything wrong. I selected the products wrong, clients wrong, vendors wrong. I didn't do one thing right?
70% of people have done same.
Yeah, exactly. So what I'm saying, Sandeep bhai, but then...
My story resonates with everybody.
Yeah,
actually.
so Sandeep bhai, so the problem here is that, at least 80% of the people dropped out just before they knew that the dawn was coming, right? So, I mean, we're addressing everything technically, right? But all technicality comes after a point of time when a man is at that pace to be able to understand that. Now, the forum, if it can do something about it, because I've seen a lot of people drop out in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, like, and I'm talking about manufacturers who like, ये क्या registration का काम है, ये है, वो है, कुछ नहीं हो सकता है. So, how can you address that? I mean, I can understand quality with all due respect. I can understand regulatory. All this comes after they know that there is a shining light. They keep saying, वो आ रहा है, वो आगे बढ़ते ही जाता है, milestone आगे बढ़ते ही जाता है. Here there are people who have experience, but what about the 80-90% people who dropped out? Right? So I just have a thought. Maybe if someone can think on those lines and tell them, like at least one guy was nice enough to tell me at KPL in an event having a coffee, in Canada, he said, 3 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೂ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. It's like 3 years, nothing will happen. I mean, at least for the first meeting I went and he said 3 years is gone. So he set my bar very low. कि 3 साल तो कुछ होने का ही नहीं है. Right? So I'm addressing that again. If for all that we are doing technically, if this can be done where people know, okay, this is the path, don't worry, and this is what it's going to take. Because Ashish said his journey has been longer. He's the son of an API trader. I'm son of a generics trader, right? So it takes time. And to be honest, one point I want to think, sir, it takes more to unlearn than to learn. I'm a very fast learner, but to unlearn, it takes a long time. To unlearn what's in your blood takes you years, right? So that I think if you're all such distinguished people, you have experience. If you can come up with something on that aspect, then you at least 80%, you're 130 trillion, there'll be a lot of people there because 80% just dropped out. So I'm just thinking like that.
Develop some kind of a booklet which can be a guidance document, like, some kind of stories. Maybe we can do that. Some stories, if you publish, some learning lessons, life journeys from all the members, and they can freely contribute. And I think my story is also different and his story is different. Everybody's story is different. I think each story will give some insight to a particular next person, which cannot be actually given in like a curriculum, like a textbook. But stories will give inspiration, and I think, you have been very inspiring. And this has been really a wonderful session as we come to that. And, no more questions at this time. We just have to go to the felicitation now. I would call upon...
Online learning program. Okay. I think that is such a, I would say, economical way of, even if 5 people are benefited, don't look at whose numbers, 5 people enough.
We are doing much stuff. We are doing on the operational part.
Use website.
Whatever, have a subject matter.
We are doing the operational part, but yes, more and more people get involved into manufacturing integrities, or when more and more such. Now we have VCBA, other Bombay Custom Broker also, as we are part with them. We can align with FOPE, we can align with AITAC. So that, continuous learning program will be there. And that will
I think that is what we are hearing today.
And one more thing we can add, just adding to the what Hitesh is saying, that 3 years and all those things, we can also have a market exporters training program also.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yes, these are the things, do's and don'ts for the startups in the merchant export. Okay? Because everyone aspires higher, but they don't know the basics. So we need to think on that.
Yeah, I think, because the whole thing is that manufacturers will be limited, but what we need from India is more and more business development, like, another word for merchant exporters. We can, if you want to put it, you can call business development. We need 10x, 20x, 100x of business development to reach every corner, like how the Chinese have done. They have BD people, they have used that tool very effectively. I think if we have one organization which can do that, which is not the manufacturer himself going, but if companies realize, the manufacturer also realizes that more distributor I have, like Hindustan Lever or an Amazon, more my product will sell. And that is the key, that how we position our organization as the best BD partner for sending pharma devices and allied products and services across the world. So I think...
Dharmesh bhai, just one sentence on this, what Hitesh was saying and Sandeep bhai is saying. See, essentially what happens is everybody is over-ambitious. So with regards to your capability to give regulatory documents, to do everything. And India, as I said, we have not learned to say no. So we feel that, while we feel that I can go through graduation, I'm already thinking that I'll get a PhD, you know, or I'm capable of getting a PhD. So everybody's journey is different. Also, to understand what is your financial bearing to be able to sustain. You know, because people say that, oh, I want to be in 10 countries, 100 countries, or whatever. But they have no plan. There is no plan. From first day, I used to make a plan and I used to fail every time. But at least I knew that I had a plan. It did not go through, and after some point in time, I started overachieving. But most of the times, we are so entrepreneurially strong, all the community, the Marwadis, the Gujaratis, the Sindhis, the Punjabis, all of us here, that we are doing first and then we are thinking. So that needs to change. And you need to know what are your limits and what is it that you are willing to lose.
We are more occupied in operational issues. Right. We have less time in strategic thinking, and such programs, the idea behind of having such programs is to just ignite a thought of strategy which, you know, someone can inspire and grow like Ashish and everyone has grown in their life, or can have, Ramesh Bhai's story. It is the success of this FCAB, I can say.
Thank you so much for this session. Big round of applause.